exciting news. I'm super excited because on the last videos we ran the Qwen models, as it will be somewhere here, on the environment. For that one, you need to like GPU, your virtual machines with GPU. However, this kind of things is quite challenging to find or like invest at the beginning, and everyone tried it maybe with a free trial or some tokens and see the different capabilities of the Qwen models. So Alibaba Cloud published Alibaba Cloud Model Studio, where you can get the API to use Tongyi large language model families, including like as you can see, it should be around 8 models. Later we can it's like property models including Qwen Turbo, Qwen Plus, Qwen Max, and then open source models, as you can see, from the 7B, 14B, 32, 72, and even huge model is like 110B chat models. So and then the great news is about it will get 1 million free tokens for each model. Let's say if you have like 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 models here, in total we will have 8 million tokens to test and try, but you need to use within 30 days after the activation. So on the maybe you have question how I can find this page. Basically, it's you need to type like on any search engine, Model Studio, Alibaba Cloud, and then first link it will shows to this page. However, we will put link to the Model Studio web page on the comment below, and all of the links will be available there. So what we need to do, first it's better you register on the Alibaba Cloud, you have account, and after this you can press button activate. So in this case you will go to the welcome page on the Model Studio, or you can directly go to the Bailan console Alibaba Cloud. That's interesting thing. Starting Bailan, in China, this Model Studio calls like Bailan platform, but overseas we call it Model Studio. So when you first time come, actually on the top you will have the button to activate models, and after you activate, you can see the Qwen closed source models and then Qwen open source models. You can see API call examples, and I think we can go to the API documentation as well. So as you can see, Alibaba Cloud Model Studio, we will leave all of related links on the comments. So here has a quite detailed information, and maybe some of you is interested on the using different platforms, like let's say as example LangChain with Model Studio. Then we go to the documentation of the LangChain. Or even now we can do it easier, Alibaba Cloud LangChain, and then we should be able, yes, open the LangChain. As you can see, it has for example pi, yes, but It's one of the product. We can find some more details. Alibaba Cloud. Let's say Tongyi Qwen model, and all of the details is included here. So basically, we can find PyES. But what we need to that's another platform as services, but we need to software as services, SaaS API calls. So we go to the Tongyi Qwen model, then Tongyi Qwen chat. If you need to some kind of vector database or document loaders, you can find. And let's see Tongyi Qwen chat examples, and you need to have the dash scope API key. So this dash scope API key actually that's Model Studio API key. Since Model Studio's SDK is calling as dash scope, so we can take the API key from the Model Studio. So that's our page, as you remember, and we can go to the API keys, and on the API key we can create the API key. So that's like my newly created API key for today, and then I can use it. I can use as shown on here. I can create my let's say RAG, Retrieval-Augmented generator, and other applications as well. But let's say if I don't want to do some coding stuff, I want to just easily create my RAG solutions, and then what I can do. In this case, we again back to the Alibaba Cloud. That's a main page. When you usually open, it will come in this way, this page, and then we go to the console. That's our console page. Then we search here ComputeNest. As you can see on my recent visit here, but for you maybe it will be under computer and ComputeNest. Then we press the ComputeNest. So first we should have the welcome page, and then we go to service catalog. As you can see here has the Gen AI LLM RAG, but that one is for the done with the Pi. What we are looking for is Model Studio RAG. So we have here Model Studio RAG. We go to the details, and it has deployment documentation, step by step, explain how we can deploy it, and even explanation about the Model Studio as well. So and if maybe reading here not so friendly, let's say it's like half of the maybe part of the page is with other information which is you don't need. In this case, we have the Alibaba Cloud blog. I hope I can open it correctly. Yes, here. Again, all of the links will be below. So on the blog, same documentation is published, so you can read it and step by step deploy it. And for example, if you are first time came to the Alibaba Cloud, you can see how to sign up, how you can obtain the Model Studio API key, create the VPC, vSwitch if you need, and resource group, and so on. So we are on the ComputeNest here, and let's say first is documentation, and second is you want to see the overall architecture, how it looks. We have overall architecture as well. Oh, it's a little bit moved, but that's okay. So we have user has some terminal, and on the we have web UI, virtual machine, and then API for the connecting the vector database, and Model Studio for LLM. What we do the launch, press the launch button, and then we can find the page. So first I will put the service name, let's say Model Studio RAG version 2. Previously I created version 1. Usually it takes like 30 to 40 seconds to prepare everything. So instead of waiting, I prepared another environment, and then we choose a virtual machine. We usually call it ECS, Elastic Computing Services, and depends on your requirements, but 8 vCPU usually works. And then instance password, we need to choose, as you can see, some strong password. However, it should follow some requirements. Then ingress IP, that means that IP addresses which is allowed to connect or work with this virtual machine. And then it's kind of whitelist. So usually it's recommended to put your VPC IP address range. Let's say if your VPC address is 192.168 and then 10, then you can do like 192.168 00 with 24, similar, something like this. But for the test purpose, I can put the 00 to allow all of the IP addresses, which is not recommended. Please don't do for your development environment like this kind of things. And then we are creating the vector database by using AnalyticDB for PostgreSQL. Here we have the specification like 4 cores, 16 GB memories, and segment storage 200. Usually that's more than enough if you have huge documents and like a lot of requirements related the speed of the vector store or others. You can increase the cores and then storage size. So DB username is recommended DB user, but you can put any username. I just put it. Pay attention that DB username will be same as your database. If you want to connect in the future and check it, DB user matches with the username. So here I create another password. So the important things is we need to omit the symbol @ this symbol because on the command line, that means like usually it uses the special character. So if you put in password, it can confuse. Then since we are creating the UI, to connect to the UI, we need to some password and username. So for here we put the username. You can put any username, and then password to connect it. And then we need the API key. So again, I go to the Model Studio. Let me close the other tabs. So on the Model Studio, I go to my user and then create API key. If you remember, recently I created the API key, and then I can do view, then copy. Don't worry, I will delete this API key, so later it will be not available. So I put here my API key. And then you need to configure your zone ability for vSpeech. You can create new VPC or use existing. I use existing one, so I choose existing. And then after this, I go to the conform order. So you can see the prices. Yep. And then we create now our order. So usually it takes like maybe up to 30 seconds, and or if it's some issue you can see it. So actually we can see it's deploying, and we can go to the details, to the steps. So what's deploying, and even if you have some issues you can go to the logs and analyze logs. But usually it works pretty well. So I have the deploy service here prepared for this demo, and we go inside and then press button, and we can see web UI. So here is again we can see the overall architecture. That's knowledge-based system. You can upload here your files, and you can see the results at the same time. So let's try to ask a question. Maybe tell me about the Alibaba Cloud Pi, and then it will answer. In the same time, I wanna share with you one. First, let me delete this API key. On the Model Studio, we can see interesting things. Here is workspace management. So if you want to create the inside your enterprise several workspace, and then control the APIs, and then know the details, you can create the workspaces. Add workspace. Let's say that can be for accounting, another workspace for financial, and so on. In this case, you will have the better control of your, or let's say it's like Gen AI governance, where you can control your models, you can control your system tools if you have, and permission management as well. So let's see the result. As we can see, it has a quite detailed result about the Pi, and so on. Later we will link the video link after we publish this YouTube. That's all the how you can run your RAG easily without any coding. And if someone wanna, let's say, change, maybe you don't like the UI, or you wanna modify it, maybe you wanna add the agents or some other tools, then we give the full freedom. How you will do, basically you go to the resources, and on the resources we can see the Elastic Compute Service. That's like your virtual machine. You go to this virtual machine, and we can see, oh sorry, it's not virtual machine, it's let's say, let me check. Sorry, this one is security group. I pressed it wrong. We need the instance, so we press the instance, and that's our virtual machine. And on virtual machine we can connect so we can connect by SSA or others. So here is I'm just connected from console by itself. So I put my password. Previously I put it, then I can connect to the node. And as you can see here, we have the Model Studio, and all of the information is which can be modified. For example, you want to modify add the agents on the RAG or tools, then basically you can go to let me put it more in detailed way. So you can go to the LLM service pi, or if you want to modify the web UI, then you can go to the graduate app.py. And then if you want to modify vector database by itself, again, you go to AnalyticDB Postgres. For example, you created with Medium course 4, and then you want to upgrade it. So you can just go to the change. You can switch to subscription or upgrade it, or add the make it public and it's not recommended. Add the users and add a new IP addresses to connect via this. So as you can see, that's easy to start as flexible. You can modify it as you wish, and after you use it and you feel like okay, that's as I tested and I wanna do something else, or you wanna delete, you just press delete button here and forward, and then you can delete your instance, and we can see here status the changes, delete. Oops. So with this one, we are concluding our session. If you will have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. We usually try to read and answer the comments. And happy coding and enjoy the Model Studio. Thank you very much.